we're gonna do is kind of mix up in the beginning the mat and the chair, and then we'll go to the full chair. So let's just go ahead, and I want you to, it doesn't matter how many springs you have on, but let's just lie down and just make sure it's enough that your pedal doesn't move, and place just the back of your ankles on your pedal. And Dana's here, so she says hi. And then let's go ahead. We're going to start with our 100, but today the focus is going to kind of be our back line. So I want to get a really good connection with the back of our body. So reach your legs long and kind of just a gentle push into the pedal, but not enough to move it or anything. And reach your arms towards the sky or wherever you feel. And you're going to curl your head and shoulders up and start those arms pumping as you inhale and exhale. And keep kind of giving a little press into your pedal as you inhale and exhale and inhale and exhale and inhale. Nice. And exhale. Inhale, you're halfway there, and exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, keep curling, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Two more, inhale, exhale. One more, inhale, exhale. And bring it all the way down. We're gonna keep the legs where they are. You might have to adjust yourself a bit, but we're gonna do our roll-ups here. So don't let those legs leave that pedal. And you're gonna kind of pull as you reach. So it's almost like you're going right into a teaser already. And then rolling back down. Trying to keep your pedal still, trying to keep your legs on your pedal as you curl it up, reaching. Looks like you're trying to reach for your feet, and then rolling back down. Nice, reach long. Trying to keep the pedal still, not letting those legs leave that pedal. And then do one more. Remember, you can always modify for you today. And then reach, curling up. And then come all the way down. Nice. And then go ahead. We're going to spin around to have the pedal by our head. I want you to keep whatever weight you have, because obviously your pedal is fine. It's not going to move. Grab onto your pedal wherever you want, legs long. We're going to go right into the Wunda Chair rollover. So again, watch your range, whatever works for you. You're going to bring your legs up towards the sky. Reach, try to bring your feet to the middle of that bench if you can. And as you roll down, just feel the arm connection with your pedal. And as you roll down, feel like you're still reaching. You're going to do 3 in each direction. Whatever version you decide to do. And then the legs will be open. And just try to think about keeping a nice open chest as you go through your circles. One more. And then all the way. Bring the legs all the way to the mat. And then you're going to do one nice roll up here. And just roll all the way up. And we're going to spin back around. I'm so moving you all over today. Now I want you to lie back down. And take your right leg onto your pedal. And the opposite leg up towards the sky. And let's just give it like a little stretch. So grab behind that leg and just kind of pull it towards you. Because we're going to change our pedal in a minute. And then bring that leg down to the mat, to the pedal, sorry, and pull into it. And again, our focus is that back line connection. So what I want you to do is, after your lovely stretch, come up and maybe take your spring, one spring, maybe lower middle, because what we're going to do is our one leg circle, but one foot is going to be keeping that pedal down. So you can always change your mind. So lying down, I have mine on one low. Probably go with the middle, but we'll stick with this. So take your right foot on the pedal, left leg up towards the sky, and I want you to just take that pedal down and stand on it. Don't let that hip move on that side, keeping everything there. Now obviously our circle's gonna be different, so I want you to think it's more about the out part of your circle. So bring your leg down towards your bench and out and back to the top. So it's more like that Kathy Grant mat leg circle, and it's working on that whole backline stability connection as we open that leg up to the outside, not letting that stability get lost with that foot on your pedal. Do one more in this direction, and then reverse and challenge yourself. See, where can I take that? Keep my head, shoulders, and that one hip on the mat, and that pedal stable. The more weight you have on it, the more challenging, meaning the more you're gonna have to support yourself there. And then switch, find your kind of position, and then we'll take the leg out. Woo, might be different on the, oop, yeah, almost lost my pedal. It did a little unweighting. How are you doing, Dana?
The other side was harder.
The other side was harder. One more. And then reverse it. Wee. Around and down. Get all together. Good. And do two more here. And watch that knee on that stable side there. I cannot count today. Good. And then bring both feet to your pedal and guide and let it float back up. And then what I want you to do is we're gonna do a little bit of our kind of rolling back feeling of our mat. So what I want you to do is just keep your knees bent, and we're just gonna kind of warm it up here. Now remember, it's pretty lightweight, so kind of maybe have your heels on that pedal, and I want you to think of your rolling back like you're pulling your knees in and bringing that pedal down, and just kind of get that feeling back of the legs, feeling that pulling in of our knees into us as we go into our rolling back, which we are going to do. Good, and just do that one more time, just feeling the heels going towards you and then down to feel that feeling. And then bring the pedal all the way back up. And then go ahead, lengthen your legs. Your heels may be kind of on your bench there, and that's okay. And we're gonna see if you can roll all the way up. Ooh, might need a little help here. And grab onto your pedal. And then take your heels onto your pedal. And just think, it's like we're gonna do our rolling back, but just that beginning part again. So you're just gonna kind of pull the pedal towards you and bring it to the mat. And then unwind it back up, maintaining your ball the whole time. And then pulling again, maintaining that ball. And you've just got a hold of the pedal, but it's really the legs that are doing your work. And do one more here, pulling it down. And then all the way back up. Now, maintain your position. Take your feet off your pedal and grab onto your ankles. See if you can mimic all of that feeling. And let's just do 4 rolling back. Just watch your chair as you roll back and up, feeling like you still have that pull of the pedal, pulling of your knees in. Breathing through the whole way. And then balancing at the top. Yay! Now, stay where you are. We're probably pretty close to the chair, and that's what I want. And just take your legs into your open leg rocker. Now, see if from here, you can just, without hitting your chair, bring them down for your spine stretch. You might have to adjust a little bit. Yep, watch your chair. And let's go ahead and change the weight for your spine stretch with your pedal. Like I said, we're kind of getting feelings and going through chair and mat to start, and then we'll be all chair. Yeah, I like the high, but it's up to you. So hands are on your pedal. Just make sure you can be a little hinged forward, but we're not back. And I want you to just stay tall. Reach your legs and just pull the pedal and grow even taller. Feel that whole spine scaffolding, like you're a building, growing taller. You can feel the whole scaffolding of that building, which is your body. And do 2 more here. Reaching your legs, keeping them nice and long. And now pull that pedal and then use that to go into that spine stretch, almost like you're just rounding back a little bit, because if you have not as much support, it might go a little further. Make sure you don't pull your chair towards you. Keep reaching those legs. So it's just a little pull, and then we kind of think of all our connections of our subway head and curling from both ends at the same time. And do 1 more here. Reach. And then all the way back up. Nice. And then bring those legs and we're gonna swivel around. We're gonna go into corkscrew, but we're not gonna go into the shoulder version up and over. We're gonna keep it here. So grab onto your pedal again. Just be careful because we probably don't have as much weight as we had earlier. And what I want you to think about is keeping the shoulders open. Lift your left hip as your right hip gets heavier. Don't let that left shoulder get lost. Circling the legs down and around, and the right hip comes off and pulling back. And you're just alternating. And think back to when we first began. So as your legs are going down and around, feel like you're pushing that pedal again. Feel like you've got the connection of the back of your body and not just the legs just kind of flailing through space. Breathing around. Whee, 2 more. Wait, no. That's even, yes? And then bring the legs, give them a little hug. And lengthen your legs out, and we're gonna roll all the way up. All the way up. Good. And let's just stay in the position we are. Legs open wide, and we're gonna go for our saw here. So the chair is behind us. Arms are long out. Yeah, we'll stagger. And I want you to think you're taking the left side of your ribs towards your chair and the right towards the front of your room. And then you're gonna reach forward, and back up tall and untwist. And then the right side goes back as the left goes forward. Nice. And think your arms are like on a coat hanger, so they can't go forward of your chest. So you're probably going to be aiming more towards the same arm, same leg with that rotation. So we're just rotating where we can with that rib cage area. Good. And then do 1 more here. And then bring it all the way back up. Okay, so we're gonna go face our chair on our knees for thigh stretch, and then we're gonna use our pedal again. So just on your knees, slight tilt at both ends, arms out. And let's just do a nice thigh stretch where you can go. Feeling the shoelace part of your foot nice and heavy. Inhaling, yep. And just think you've got just a slight curl at both ends. Nice. And do 1 more here. And then back to center. So depending on what you have your setting for your last spine stretch, we're gonna do our shoulder bridge with our pedal, a little bit of Kathy Grant work. So I'm gonna move mine to the middle, but you can pick where you wanna go. You can always change your mind. Both feet will be on if that helps you make that decision. And then lie down on your back, and I want you to take the pedal, pull it down, and step on it. Feet are hip width apart. So just kind of be here for a moment and feel your hips heavy, ribs on the mat, shoulders on the mat. And then I want nothing to change. It's a lot like on our Cadillac with our shoulder roll down there. But let's just do a few to get the back line connection again. Let the pedal float up, maybe like an inch or two, and then press it back down. And then let it float up like an inch or two, pulling back down. And every time you pull down, think about your hips heavy. And for those that know the visual of her, the Kathy Grant with the being in a raft, feel like your upper body's in the water, your feet on the edge of the pool, and we're not gonna drown by pushing into our mat more as we go. So bring the pedal all the way down, keep it there, and I want you to just lift your hips up as high as you can and feel like your knees are going towards your bench. Open up the chest, see if you can go a little further. And then just think of the shoulders coming down, rib cage container coming down, hip container, keeping the pedal down. And do that again, inhaling up, nose to the sky, feel the shoulders connecting in your back, and then all the way back down. And just do 2 more here, keeping that pedal heavy on your mat. Think about maybe elbows drawing towards each other. Shoulders light in the shoulder and head as you push up, not getting heavier back. And then all the way down. And then go ahead, carefully bring the pedal all the way up. Bring yourself up, and we're gonna do our leg pumps. So if you need a grippy so you don't go flying off, we'll grab a grippy. Do you need one, Dana? Yes. Grippy. So let's go with maybe 2 top or 2 middle. You decide what you want to do today. But I want it to be enough it feels like it's gonna knock you off. And let's sit to the front of your mat as best you can. Mat, bench, heels together, toes apart. And then think back to when we did our rolling back and we pulled that pedal and we were on our back. Feel like you're still on your mat and you're pulling the pedal up. Arms are just gonna be long at your side, and I want you to just take the pedal, inhale as you press down, and then pull it back up like we did with our rolling back. Just staying as tall as you can. All your containers are stacked. And you're only pushing it away and down where you can keep kind of that 50-50 feeling. And I want it to be enough of a challenge where it feels like it's gonna knock you off, but you're able to maintain and really feel you're pulling the knees back up into your chest as you go. Do 2 more here, and just find a pace that works for you. And then let's go to your arches hip width apart, and again, sit tall, and maybe you can maneuver and get even closer. Challenge yourself, pushing away and pulling back in. Inhale, exhale. Growing taller and taller each time. Nice. Yeah. Do 2 more here. Really pulling that ball back up. 1 more. And then let's go for the heels. Make sure all the containers are stacked and that you have a good connection with your heels. If you can flex your feet, great, but just don't risk the pedal flying up, making a lot of noise and scaring you. Yeah. And growing tall. Do 3 more here. 2, 1 more. And luckily, we're not going to do our one leg, but we are going to do a little bit of the Kathy Grant. So I want you to go back to the balls of your feet and push the pedal and see if you can hold it down. Ooh, hold it down. And then just lower your heels and lift your heels without the pedal getting lost. It's like our little Achilles tendon on our reformer. Do you like how I'm throwing a lot of Kathy Grant at you today? Yep. Good. It's good. Yes. And then heels lifted, bring it all the way in. And I think you should be okay with maybe one high, one middle. We're gonna do our long leg press, which is a lot like our 100, but we're standing. So maybe change your spring. Definitely one spring. You can decide, you might want to test it, because as we know, every day is different. All right, so we're gonna stand with whatever you can. Arch, a good connection, but the leg is long, and we're standing straight out of our standing leg. And let's do hands behind your head. You don't have to, but I tend to like that version. Now just stay tall, and just pull the pedal where you can, growing tall. And your standing leg, it could be rotated, whatever. I don't want it to be about balance on that leg. I want it to be about our whole kind of backline connection again in the 100 here. So now, think you're on the mat. So the pedal's gonna move by the curl of our body. So you're gonna pull the pedal, then at some point you're gonna have to start rounding to bring that pedal down. So you're using that round. You're maybe not 50-50 anymore, but as it comes up, you're unwinding to bring the pedal up, and we'll get back to that 50-50. Yeah, and then pull the pedal down where you can, and then curling your head, shoulders, going forward, but think the back of your body is still on that mat. Landing your hip container, and then all the way back up. Yay! Really stand in your standing leg. Scissor those legs. Pull them together. Don't lose that standing leg. Last one up. Yay! And then we'll switch legs. You may have to adjust because sometimes it seems like we're not even on our legs. So same thing first. Pull and grow tall. Always. There's no perfect alignment here. Otherwise, we would need Pilates. Grow tall. And then do that again. You're going to pull, and then at some point, you're going to have to start curling down to bring the pedal down. And it's hard to kind of get that, not the leg just pulling down separate from the body, but thinking of your 100. So it's kind of the same, the same lift of our legs, but in a totally different way. But that should be our feeling. Do one more. And then all the way up. Eee, nice. Let's keep the weight the same, unless you want to change it for push down front, but you can decide. But I want you to think the same thing, but now both our legs are grounded. You can be heels together, toes apart, whatever works. Arms to the sky. And let's just round down and find our pedal. And then from here, shift 50% of your weight in your arms. Let your head really hang between those arms. And think the same thing. You're going to round and push the pedal down, keeping your 50-50. Heels connected to your mat. And then you're gonna bring that pedal up with the movement of your spine, but keeping that feeling of pushing the pedal away. Inhaling, exhaling as you come up. Try to keep that 50-50 and bring the pedal all the way back up to the top. And you're just going down where you can. And for those of us that have like little crooked things happening in your body, see if you can think of both feet evenly weighted. And do one more here. And then I want you to hold it down where you can. And I want you to bend your elbows towards your legs. Bring the pedal all the way up if you can. And then push
the pedal away and round into it more. So try to keep your elbows coming in close and then pushing away. The elbows in close. Try to bring the pedal all the way up. Just don't whack your head. And do one more. Arms will be long and roll it all the way up. Try to keep that 50-50 as you roll and reach for the sky.
Yay! Okay. Keep your weight the same. Let's walk around for our chest lift. Have your hips kind of right in the center and just bring the pedal all the way to the floor. And let's just keep it here for a moment. And I want you to feel that you're pulling the pedal towards the bench and you're pushing it into the floor and your nose is looking right at the ground. And then let your head come up and start to look forward. Keep pulling the pedal, keep pulling it, and then as it starts to float up, keep looking up your wall, reaching your legs long, just going where you can go. And then pushing the pedal all the way back down, your gaze coming back down to your floor. And think the same thing, head, hips pressing in, floating up, but pulling the pedal so we're opening up that chest. And then all the way back down. Keep reaching the legs. I want you to think back to that whole pushing of the pedal all in the beginning. I want you to feel that that pedal is still there and you've got it. And do one more here. Keep the legs reaching away. And then all the way down. And then very carefully come off. And let's go ahead. I think you might want to, you can leave it, we're going to do teaser on the bench. So you might want to take it down a notch, you might leave it. I'm going to take it to a middle. And then we'll see how it goes. So let's go ahead. Find a spot on your bench where your back will hit your bench. And then let's just find the pedal and your teaser legs. Whatever you want to do with your arms, fingers facing or not. Reach your legs away and press. You've got that 50-50 again. Press the pedal away where you can and back up. And I'm just going to go where my shoulder allows me to go today. But the important part is bringing that pedal all the way back up. Keep reaching those legs like they're pushing that pedal away again. And do one more. And then bring the legs and off your pedal. And then let's go ahead. I'm going to move, you can leave it where it is. I'm going to move it up again to the top. We're going to do our side lift and then go into our side lift twist. So what I want you to think about is that you're keeping the legs from dropping. We're going to be in the center and just take your pedal and press it down. And let's do this first. Find where your head is. So we're not like up, it's like lengthened, crown of the head, legs and woo, the other direction, and then take your other arm towards the sky. And just push the pedal away to really feel the activation of below your waist there. And then take that arm and just lift up towards the sky as you keep reaching the legs. Keep pushing the pedal away and just go where you can go. And then pushing all the way back down. And then all the way up. And then we are going to do, again, a little lateral flexion Kathy Grant while we're here. So don't just go right into your twist in a moment. One more. Now take this arm and just reach it down your leg. So this is kind of from her mat, but I want you to think that we're really thinking about that top rib cage to the top hip. So your pedal, you're still pushing it away, and think you're taking that top rib cage towards your hip. The legs do not drop. And then push the pedal away, woo, without falling. Ha! You wiggly, wiggly. And then rib cage. Now really think about it and keep your legs lifted, because what happens is don't let that hip drop. As the rib cage comes towards it, it's got to stay where it is. Nice lateral flexion. Now, scissor your legs, top leg back, front. Find your pedal. Remember, both arms long, so even if it's fingertip, fingertip. Reach those legs, go back, let the head look up, eyes gaze, and just go where you can go. Hello. And back down. Inhaling as you go up. So think back to our spine twist, our saw, all of that, and the rib cage rotation here, but the hips are trying to stay back where they did for our side lift. And then bring it all the way down. Move the hand back and bring yourself up. Oh my goodness. Whew. Super. I love Kathy Grant. I would kiss her all over. Let's find our, different side. Find your position, press in. So first, let's just go up. Remember, we're pushing the pedal away. We're trying to keep that side plank the whole time. Feel like you're lifting from the bottom waist. Keeping our head, I'm trying, this is my funky side. Good. One more here, and then we'll head into that lovely lateral flexion for Kathy Grant. It's like her side sit up. Now, bring your arm down towards your leg, and think. Keep those legs reaching. Rib cage going towards the hip, but again, the hip's not going away. And then right back down. Whoa. Much more challenging on this side. So just do what you can do. Kind of figure out what's most important to keep for you today. And I think for me, it's just balance on this side. One more here. Woo. And then scissor those legs, and we'll go for, yes, side lift twist. Go where you can go. Different side, but you've got it. Try to think about the rotation of the upper, but keeping those hips just like you had them. So you might have to take that back leg, which is actually your top leg, and really reach it to keep that, again, hip from going with the rib cage, which we just did, but we don't want it to happen here. One more. And then bring it all the way down, back to side, and back up. Whoa. Holy cow. That was good. Okay. So knowing how our balance feels, let us try some of the standing press downs with our legs. So I think, let's see about maybe 2 bottom or maybe 1 top. You decide. I want it to be enough support for you, but not so much you can't like handle it. And we're gonna do the press down front first. So what I want you to do, and you can judge where that is for you, let's have the hands on our hips and just place your right foot on, heel lifted. Try to keep your 50-50 and think about all the work we just did with our side stuff, and let's keep everything, hip container, everything the same. And you're gonna push the pedal all the way down without anything changing and bring it all the way back up. So again, we're scissoring those legs. Both backline connection on both sides are having to fire. One with the pedal, one with the floor. Staying tall, pressing down. Try to think you're bringing it all the way to the floor, controlling it all the way back up. Inhaling. And I'm on 2 bottom, which seems good today. Sometimes it's not. And then see what's happening with your whole container stacking. Head, rib cage, everything. How's it handling all this? Bring it up and we'll switch legs. And again, we don't want it about balance, so whatever that standing leg needs to do, let it do. Heels lifted. If you can keep it lifted, don't worry if not. It's not a deal breaker. Inhale. To quote Kathy Grant, we're not doing performance Pilates. Breathing. A lot of people need to learn. Let's just see what happens. Where we are. Nothing's ever perfect. Otherwise it'd be very boring. 2 more. Staying tall. Keeping that connection. Nice. 1 more. Oh. Yeah. Okay. So, let's go ahead. I'll face you. We're going to go for the side version. So again, there's no perfect position, but what I do want is that when you are in this position, you're able to keep your hips where you want them, nice and even. Your foot slightly forward, so you're gonna, again, pull and scissor those legs together, and then back up. And if you can keep the heel lifted, great. If not, don't worry about it. But really think about that side pull on both, working as you pull everything together and back up. And we're just trying, because this top leg on our pedal is rotated out. So we're just having to maintain that, but not letting that hip rotate back towards the wall behind us. 1 more here. That standing leg is on fire. Woo! Switch. I used to take aerobics from this woman who actually got me into fitness and teaching. And we would do box aerobics, and she would say, thank goodness we only have 2 sides. We're not like dogs. Where we have 4 legs, 4 to do. So again, different side. So see again about our hip container. Are we keeping it facing front? Is it level? Is it right with our rib cage and our shoulder container? And really firing into that standing leg. Bringing the pedal all the way down and controlling it back up. Ooh, there we go. Almost missed it. 1 more here. And then bring it all the way up. Come back around to your first side. So we don't have handles, so let's just see how this goes. I want you to we're gonna do the crossover. So take your outside leg and just push the pedal down. Woo! And find your balance. So see if you can find 50-50 as best as you can. Hands behind your head, on your hips, whatever works. And then you're gonna bring the pedal up, maybe just an inch or 2, and press it back down. Every time you press it down, push more into the floor. And you just wanna be standing where your leg actually is crossed over the other leg. They're not even with each other. And you're just going, however that is, usually it's like an inch or 2 to where the knee is still tracking with your foot. And pushing down, and I want you to try to think that standing leg, you're not letting that hip shift away. Woo, find that balance. This is really hard when we don't have our handles. And then go ahead as best you can, bring it up without any knee issue. And we'll go to the other side. And you can always maneuver and figure out where you need to be. So, whoa, find your balance first. See if you've got that 50-50. And then you can start moving that pedal. So as you start moving the pedal, decide, am I 50-50? Am I in my standing leg or am I leaning forward? And your foot that's on the floor, it may move a bit. It may because it's trying to balance you, it's trying to figure things out. So it's gonna roll around a bit, and that's okay. Ooh, this is a much more challenging side balance-wise. Good. And reach, push into, and again, this leg on my standing leg is like, I don't want to do this. Good. One more here. Carefully bring the pedal up. Oh, you feel that? That's good. Okay, let's go ahead. Let's go for heavier weight. We're gonna do our going up side because we worked it. We've got that connection happening. So let's go ahead. We'll face this way first. So let's have foot on the pedal and just press it down. And just find your position. And then you can decide, because we want our hips facing. So if you need to do a little rotation on the standing leg of either, we don't want this knee kind of falling in. You want it to be, so you have to work it, right? Right back to the crossover and the little press down side we just did. And then I want you to just keep that 50-50 as you bring it up wherever you can. Oh, and then all the way back down. My inner thighs just screamed at me. And then you can always adjust your foot that's on the pedal, but make sure you always have that good connection and that you're not just like leaning over. You're actually pulling and scissoring those legs, which you've been doing all morning long. Good. Sorry, there's a guy that just walked in front of the window that was very distracting. One more. And he was wondering what I was doing in here with Dana. All right, turn it around. Whew. Make sure your foot, again, is in a good position. Find your 50-50, and again, check. Where are the hips headed? Where's that top knee? And just start your floating up. See and make sure rib container, shoulder and head container are going straight up towards the sky. We're not leaning forward, we're not falling back. And we're scissoring, keeping length on both sides. And really work that leg on your bench to keep that external rotation because it's gonna wanna fall forward. And let's do 2 more here. Breathing through. And 1 more. Good. And then bring it all the way down. Carefully, because we have heavy weight. Bring it down. Okay. So we're going to end with let's go with 1 top spring or whatever you use for your kind of kneeling side stretch, whatever that is. Maybe let's go with the middle, maybe. We'll go with 1 middle. So we're not doing kneeling side stretch, but make sure y'all can see me. We're actually gonna do a little bit of the mat side bend. So I want you to just take 1 knee under, other leg long, take your pedal and push it down. Hold it down. Now, can you take the leg that's here and just kind of tuck it behind and then bring this arm up. Woo! And then think of your mat and let's lift up, look towards that arm, and then bring it back. We're not gonna go down, we'll just come back to here. And then side bend, keep reaching those legs, and up, and 1 more. Side bend, and up, bring that knee back, and up. You ready? Yes, do what you need to do, because this is going into kind of a work there. So if you want to stay here, you can stay here, or you can take the foot, tuck it behind, and go into whatever side bend, looking towards that arm, and back. So trying to lift your hips up wherever you can, just like when you're on the mat. But again, we're in a much different position. And that was just 3. Bring the knee back. Undo your pedal. Yeah. And then let's go ahead and just sit, because we made it. And just roll your shoulders back. That was really good. I think we will feel the sides of our body and the back of our body. And then reverse the circle. I had such a long list of things I wanted to do, and we didn't get them all. More is better. And then go ahead, just take one hand to the outside of whatever knee, and you'll just do a little twist, because it just feels good. And then go to the other side, little twist. And we'll do one more each side. See, maybe you go a little further.